Hello and welcome to www.toyotacamroad.com.au. My name is Paul Stevens. In this video, I'm going to address a whole bunch of things. So please just give us a few minutes of your time and let us explain how everything works with our dealership. Now let's start off. We are the only Toyota Camroad dealer in this country. We are also the largest importer of Toyota Camroads into this country. So we've been at our location here since 1996. And during that time, we have sold thousands and thousands of motorhomes. And I do say to people that I have sold every type of motorhome that this country has to offer. And I back this up with saying none of them even come close to the Toyota Camroad product. We are also a member of the MTA. This is the Motor Traders Association. Being an MTA member means the dealership adheres to the MTA's Code of Ethics, which emphasizes integrity, transparency, customer centricity, and ethical business practices. And I hold that very, very high with not just myself, but also the people that work on this dealership. It's very important to us to have the happiest customers that we possibly can. Because as I've said in the past, if you're a happy customer, then you hopefully end up becoming a salesperson for us. The people you meet down the road, when they're enthusiastic about looking at your Toyota Camroad, hopefully you can then turn around and say, yes, the boys at the dealership were magnificent. We are also a long-standing member of the JBIC Corporation in Japan, who specialize in sourcing the best quality privately owned motorhomes available. Our association with our corporations in Japan guarantees you the best quality motorhome that we can possibly source. It also guarantees that I'm putting my money into the right product. And this relationship that I've had with my Japanese cohorts spans well in excess of 30 years. Before we purchase a motorhome in Japan, there is a 35-point checklist that must be adhered to before I even consider spending my hard-earned money on that product. We do this so that there's no surprises when the vehicle comes to me. Remember, I get to see it first before we put it for sale up on the yard. It has to be the best. We do look at a lot of motorhomes, privately owned motorhomes, not throughout Japan. There's only certain parts of Japan that we purchase from for various reasons, whether it be climate, conditions, accessibility, but they have to be the absolute best before I decide to purchase the product. Another very important point with the product that we present to the Australian market is it's already here. We're not trying to sell you a product that you've gone onto the internet and you're looking at photos and a description, but the product might be in Japan. No, the product is already in this country and it's already sitting on our dealership. So there is no risk to you whatsoever about sending money overseas and, hoping it's going to go to the right person. There's a lot of dangers out there when purchasing motorhomes overseas without seeing the product first, as I'm sure you would be aware. You come to our dealership, they're all on display. You can look inside them, try the beds out. We'll even let you take them for a test drive. Anything that we can possibly help you with to give you all the information so that you can make an informed buying decision. Since we are the largest importer of Toyota Camroads into Australia, we have a very unique position and relationship with the shipping companies. So much so that we have priority space. Now, look, it may not mean much to you buying it from me on the dealership, but what it does mean is we have a long standing with these shipping companies, so there's no delay on our part. Just another point and another reason why we do stand out in the Australian marketplace. We are the most experienced in regards to the Toyota Camroads. Now, my boys in our compliance center are second to none. They know every single nut and bolt and nook and cranny on every one of these Toyota Camroads. So there really is never an issue that comes up or a problem that we can't address. In regards to national compliancing, repairs for the vehicles sold by our dealership, sourcing OEM spare parts out of Japan if needed, additional engineering requirements such as extra seat belts, bull bars, tow bars, and if you want extra seat belting in them, then we're happy through the Compliancing Centre to give them a Queensland Compliance Certificate. So when you do decide to purchase one of our units through our dealership, when you're sitting down with myself or one of the salespeople, there are several things that we include in each one of our products. If you are a Queenslander, then we're happy to give you 6 months Queensland registration. That's included. If you have flown in from another state in Australia, then we're happy to give you 3 months Queensland registration. This gives you time to get the vehicle back to where you live. Also, with every single product that we sell, we do include, at no extra charge, a 5-year, fully comprehensive national warranty. Now, this covers everything. This is all your engine and all your running parts and everything inside the motorhomes, which includes the solar systems, the water pumps, the fridges. The list goes on and on. That's included with every single sale. Now, our after-sales service doesn't have a time limit on it. You know, we've sold these Camroads for quite a long time now, and, you know, some of the early purchases, they needed to get a little part here, or they needed some information over here. Our phones are always on. It doesn't matter how long you've had one of our products. You call us up, and if you're having difficulty with something, an instruction, it doesn't matter what it is, we are more than happy to spend the time on the phone to help you through the issue. If there is ever going to be a moment in time where maybe there's a part that you can't source, and I can't really think of one, but if there is, then we're happy to help you. You know, it usually takes us about a week to get any part out of Japan, which we go straight to Toyota for. So we're always going to be taking care of you no matter how long you've had your Toyota Camroad. We also have what we call a resellers program. So if you've got your Toyota Camroad and you've had it for a year, 6 months, 3 months, or you've just wanted to do the lap around Australia, whatever your reasons are, and you're wanting to move that vehicle back onto the market, please bring it back to us, because we will always find a customer for that vehicle. And what's interesting about this is you'd be surprised at how little you will lose. Because remember, these are always going to be an exclusive product here in Australia. Unlike other motorhomes in Australia, where you can find 10 or 15 or 20 of them for sale down the road, you're not going to with these 200 series Toyota Camroads. So you're always going to get top dollar for your unit. So please, when you're finished with it, bring it back to us and we'll move it on for you. We also offer this very unique deposit system. Yes, I know places will take deposits, but we do this for a particular reason. Because these Camroads are incredibly popular, we sometimes run the risk of you maybe calling me up one day and say you're in Melbourne, and you know you found one online and gosh, you really like it, but you can't get up to see me for another 2 weeks, but geez, it's really what you want. So we turn around and say to you, look, put down a holding deposit, $5,000. It's just a number that I picked out of my head, but $5,000. Now what we do is we then put deposit taken across the photograph on the website. So now other potential customers understand that there's an interested party in the vehicle. I mean, we'll still have it on display here at the dealership, because what happens then is that by the time you come up, there'll be 7 or 8 people that want to buy it, and I think they're all hoping that you're going to change your mind. So we don't lose anything about taking the deposit, and they're 100% refundable back to you for any reason whatsoever. But it's just a way for you to secure the vehicle while you arrange in your travel arrangements to get to us. Another thing that I'm very, very happy to do, and we've done this many, many times in the past, and we'll continue to do this, we have a lot of customers that have their house up for sale. It's just, say, gone unconditional, but they're not going to get their funds for 30 days. All you do is you phone me up and you say, hey, Paul, we came in and saw you, or we saw this one online. We really want this vehicle. Again, put a holding deposit down on it and I will work with you. I'm happy to work in your time frame so you don't have the chance of losing that vehicle. The same thing applies if you're waiting for your Social Security. I mean, the same thing applies if you're waiting for money overseas. It doesn't matter. Let me know what your situation is, and if I can, I will definitely work with you. Because these are an exclusive product, there's not 10,000 of them available in Australia. You've really got to strike while the iron is hot, because I can't guarantee you the product's going to be here by the time you're finally ready to purchase. And remember, I'm not buying these every single month. I mean, I wish I had the money to do that, but I don't. You know, I have certain times of the year that I purchase my product. And if I was to buy a motorhome, say, next month, I'm not going to see that for 3 months. That's just the way that it works. So again, if you find something you really like on the website, or you've come into the dealership and your heart's just melting over this particular vehicle, but you don't quite have the funds yet, let me know, put a deposit down, and I will work with you. With these Toyota Camroads, and I know that a lot of you have never seen one before, and well, rightly so, because there is not a huge amount of them in Australia. They've got basically everything inside that you will find in a much larger motorhome. They all come, and this is standard with us, they all come with solar systems, brand new house batteries, cooking facilities, shower and toilets. They're all automatics with overdrive. They have brand new TVs that we put in them, and every single one. And also, please remember this, that when we first get them from Japan, even though that my boys in Japan have done everything right, they've gone through the checklist, and they are spectacular, when it gets to our compliance center, they go straight up on a hoist. And the boys might spend a couple of days under one of these things, going through every single nut and bolt, all the bushes, all the rubbers, everything. And they've got a carte blanche. They've got an open check. They said, a blank check, I should say, if it needs replacing, replace it. If it needs this, do it. We don't question it. And part of the reason of that is because I have ethics. And I want to make sure that your hard-earned money is going on something, it's the best you can possibly get in this country. And again, it comes down to customer satisfaction. It comes down to you being exceedingly happy with the product that you've got, so that you tell other people, hopefully, to come and talk to us about their possibly purchasing a Toyota Camroad. So once again, the product I sell, it's the best you can possibly get out of Japan. And one more very important thing, which I'll state, and I've stated it in other videos, I don't purchase from the Japanese auctions. I don't. And there's reasons for that. I know what goes through the Japanese auctions. My stock comes from the private domestic seller in Japan. 99% of the product that I present to you, one owner units. Amazing, amazing service history on them. So well taken care of. In fact, I've lost count of how many times people have come into our showroom, they've stood there and they're looking at all the units, and they'll approach us and ask us, do we have any second-hand ones? They're all second-hand, but it's a testament to the quality of the product that we present to you as our customers. This next part is very, very important. Please remember, these are the world's only Toyota-based motorhomes. They're a purpose-built, ground-up motorhome. They're not a delivery van that somebody or a company's decided to put boxes in it and call it a motorhome. The purpose of these motorhomes is a motorhome, and they're all Toyotas. In fact, they're the best compact motorhomes in the world, and there's nothing like them on planet Earth outside of Japan. You could spend the next 20 years here in Australia trying to find an alternative to one of these Camroads. It doesn't exist. There are maybe derivatives, like there's fake copies, like there was this 4x4 Toyota, great truck, and they slid it back on it, and hey, ta-da, motorhome. Not like these. See, what happened in Japan when these companies first decided to build the motorhomes, so the backs of these motorhomes, they had to have a lot of meetings with the Toyota engineers before Toyota would let them use their trucks. So you've got the motorhome construction company engineers talking to the Toyota engineers and got them so good that they're like a hand in a glove. It's like they're a one piece. They're amazing. Speaking of one piece, they are. The molding is one piece. They don't leak, unlike just about everything else in this country. Why? Well, most of the things in this country have walls and backs and roofs kind of joined in, and then silicon all the way around. Now, the Australian sun is brutal, and if you don't get on that roof of your other motorhome and scrape that silicon off every 12 months, then the sun is going to kill that silicon. It's going to get all crusty and hard. And what happens with those types of motorhomes is when they drive down the road, they're constantly moving. The walls are moving, the back is moving, the roof is moving, because it's not one piece. And you'll see this a lot of times when you walk into Aussie-built motorhomes. There's something on the roof called creep, C-R-E-E-P. It's where the roofing wallpaper has crept away from the side and it's all wrinkly. That's because all of those pieces are constantly moving. These, one piece construction. The rigidity is amazing. Yes, the motorhome's doing this, but nothing's happening. It's all one piece. Another thing you'll find in regards to most of the motorhomes in Australia is they're all European-based engines. Now, great engines, I'm not going to take it away from them. Yes, great engines, until they need servicing, until they need repairs. You know, if you're stuck in a broken down in a small little town in Australia and, you know, you rock up into that mechanic with the European badge on your motorhome, he's going to be going, you know, it happens. I've heard all the horror stories. So now you're stranded in a little town in Australia. You're waiting 6-8 weeks for some part to come over from Europe. Then you've got to find somebody that can put it together. True stories. If you rock up to that mechanic and you're in one of our Toyota-based motorhomes, he'll see that logo on the front. He'll be as happy as Larry. Simple Toyota engines and very simple Toyota transmissions. Any mechanic in the country can work on one of our motorhomes. Now let's talk about the drivetrains in these motorhomes. Unfortunately, a lot of the motorhomes here in Australia are front-wheel drive. Hey, brilliant for European conditions, absolutely, where their roads are perfect. Not so brilliant for Australian conditions, and you know what I'm saying. You know, you've got your front-wheel drive motorhome, you're so happy, you're enjoying your trip, and you go to this caravan park, you park on the grass, and it rains overnight, or there's dew on the grass the next morning, and you've got to go up a little bit of a hill to get out of the park. Ain't happening. With these units here, they're built on a light truck system. They're a Dyna truck system, proper truck, proper chassis, rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Now remember, they're all rear-wheel drive, whether they're the petrol or the turbo diesels, some of them all-wheel drive. You're not going to get stuck. Plus, being a proper chassis, dirt roads not a problem. Typical Australian condition roads, no issue whatsoever. You're going to love driving these because you can take them absolutely anywhere. So let's talk about the weight of these vehicles. They all weigh around about 3,100 kilograms. That's the GBM. The tar is 2,100 kilograms. You can put almost a ton in these things and not be overweight. I mean, you're never going to do that, but it shows you how much freedom you've got within one of these Toyota Camroads. Let's also talk about the fact that they all have overdrive on them. So they're all a simple automatic transmission with overdrive. So when you're cruising at 110, which you can do in all of the petrols and all the turbo diesels, you hit that overdrive, boom, 1,000 RPM has been shaved off. And the standard consumption on these vehicles, whether they're petrol or turbo diesels, is around about the 10 to 14 litre per 100 mark. That's pretty good. Very economic, super quiet engines, whether you're in the turbo diesel or the petrol, They're just magnificent machines. And again, yes, they're Toyotas. They're Toyotas. One very, very important aspect of these motorhomes, as we've said, the world's best compact motorhomes. Car license, all automatics, and you can park them in a shopping car space. Unlike some of the much larger units that you buy here in Australia, you're never going to get a ticket if you park one of these on the side of the roads. Now here in Queensland, there's a 7.5 metre ruling. If your motorhome is 7.5 metres or over and you park it on the side of the road, you're going to get a ticket because it's not allowed. One of these being 5.3 metres or 4.8 metres, it's never going to happen. The world's best compact motorhome. So on a personal note, I have lived in Japan for over 14 years. In fact, I love Japan so much I ended up marrying a Japanese. Having been there for such a long time, and eventually I'm going to actually retire back there, but having been there for such a long time, I've got an intense and personal knowledge of the Japanese vehicles. And having been in this business for a very, very long time, I've managed to obtain a very broad knowledge base in regards to this industry. And I'd like to think that my knowledge is here so that you don't make mistakes. Now, if you'd like to visit our dealership, we are located at 170 Brisbane Road, Arundel. We're on the Gold Coast. We're right opposite Harbour Town Shopping Centre, second largest shopping centre on the Gold Coast. You can't miss us. If you would like to call me personally, I'll give you my phone number. We can have a good long conversation on the phone. My number is 0499 846 273, or you can always visit our website at www.toyotacamroad.com.au. And one more thing, remember to subscribe and press that bell button. That way you'll never miss another one of our videos. Hey, I'm Paul Stevens. I'm a businessman, I'm an entrepreneur, but I present the best quality product I possibly can. And in my opinion, these are the best compact motorhomes on planet Earth, bar none. I look forward to meeting you one day. Take care.